Hey guys, I'm about to take off down the road and I have got, seems like 1 million flies up in my car. I stopped out here to water my little green onions I had planted with y'all, my green onion, the little root part from the store, because I want to show y'all in a few weeks how much they grow. And I'm barely dressed. This is just, it's the weekend, it's Saturday morning, and I'm going into town to do a little bit of running around and then come back and work on the farm. I'm trying to get y'all situated. And I know I bother y'all when I'm driving down the road and talking to y'all, so I'm not going to look at you. And let's see, I got my daddy's mail I need to take over to him. So just several little errands like that. But while I'm coming on here, I wanted to tell y'all that I did go to the prison, the detention center here in our parish. We went and we had 8 girls to be baptized. I think 7 actually is who we ended up baptizing. And that is amazing. And y'all, I just cried the whole time during the baptizing. I would, cheer and we all sang Amazing Grace in a cappella when it was through. So man, it was beautiful. It's those humble settings like that that makes those times even more beautiful and precious to me. I don't know how to explain it. But anyway, it was wonderful. And I'm thanking y'all for all your prayers, because we could feel them and everybody was so open and just sweet. And y'all, when you go in, they lock, I think we went through, let me count how many doors. We went in the front door, of course, but then the lock-in doors was 1, 2, 3, I think. And every time you go in, it seems like the air's a little more stifling. I feel for them being in there. I really do. And then we went out back. We were able to go out back in this little garage area out back, and it had a big plastic type bathtub, and we baptized in that. And it was a beautiful time, and all the girls, they got to speak before they were baptized, and they all cried, and it was just such an emotional time. It was wonderful. Me talking about it makes me want to cry again. But anyway, then, and several of the women who had been ministering before us, because they reopened this, I believe, like last month. And so I think it's 5 churches in our parish area that signed up. And then I know 12 or 13 of the women in our church signed up. So that forms little groups. Our group is 4. We have more in there. Cynthia did that. She's our pastor's wife and my sweet friend. And I'm in her group, but she did it to where, since we had so many sign up, instead of just 2, in case 1 couldn't come, because things happen all the time, then you wouldn't be alone. So a group of 4 really gives us a little bit of leeway, because of people's schedules. Y'all know how stuff happens all the time. Stuff's been happening to me the last couple of weeks that is just crazy, with both of my kiddos' families. And so anyway, that's a good idea. So that gives us room for somebody not to be there. But we had all of us show up, and so we had a huge group of ladies who had been ministering before. One of them was Miss Sue Saunders, who I first went into this detention center in these ministries years ago. I'm going to say 15 to 17 years ago I was going in with her. And so she kind of led the way for me. I just went up to her and asked her. And that's so funny, because when the Holy Spirit's tugging on you to go do something, you know that, because it was years ago. I was busy. My boys were young. John and I both had jobs outside of the home, and I worked 6 and 7 days a week at the veterinarian clinic here in town. And so I really didn't have that kind of time, but God tugged on me, the Holy Spirit, said, hey, Amy, go check that out. Go check that out with Miss Sue. So she gladly took me with her, and it was a learning experience for me. So this time when they announced at church, hey, we're opening back up the prison ministries, I was just overwhelmed with joy, and I could not wait till church was over so I could go sign up, and it was not even a thought process. It's like, yes, I'm going. And so the other two girls that went in with us, they had not been before, and when we came out, I said, so what did y'all think? And they're like, oh my goodness, I love this. And it is so fulfilling for us. And like, those girls thank us for coming in, and they say we're blessing them, but they have no idea what it's doing for us. It's awesome, and I love it. And so I'm so thankful, very thankful. Thank you, God, for giving me the opportunity to do this again. It just feels like it's part of my calling. I love it so much. And so anyway, after the big baptismal, all the other ladies left that's in the other groups that had already come in. They just came to watch their girls that said they want to baptize, came to them. They came to actually baptize them and say, hey, I'm here, and so it was just wonderful out there. And then we got a little quieter scene. It was just the four of us going in to have Bible study with them. And y'all, it's very real. I mean, you get in there. I see y'all are just bouncing around on my thing that holds y'all here. I am so sorry. Our country roads are awful. They are not kept up, okay? Let's just say that. Not well, okay? I guess it's not enough of us that lives on roads, so they just say, it'd be all right. I don't know. But anyway, we went in there, and when I mean it's so real, you go in, they're actually living quarters, and we sat at their stainless steel table where they sit, and it had stainless steel benches or little stools that are, all of that screwed into the concrete, and their shower was right there in the room with us with a clear curtain on it. They had a television, and they had a microwave, and it was air conditioned, but it really lets you see, you're really there with them, and you see how they're living day to day. And literally just through a door right beside us was their bunks stacked up, and then their toilets. And of course you can hear, they just go around the wall, you can hear them. There's no privacy. But anyway, it gave us a much smaller, more intimate setting to be with all the girls. I wish I could name them all, but I've been thinking about that. Today I'm just not going to, because a lot of them are local girls, most of them. And I just think maybe I ought not to. That way, if I say a little something, you don't know who I'm talking about, But God knows, right? Yeah. And so anyway, some of them are very open, and they want to share what's going on with them and the mistakes they've made. Cynthia, she led our group, and she taught the lesson. We sang a couple of songs in there, and then she taught the lesson. And Leslie Moon Turner, she's the one in our group, and Jan Coleman and me and Cynthia Lawson. And she brought the music. We can take a little CD player in there, and so we sang a few songs. And Cynthia her lesson was on a purpose-driven life, and more of, you are here for a purpose, each and every one of us. Even though these girls are sitting in jail right now, they literally have a purpose for God. They have a reason to be here. And you can put it simple, actually. To me, our purpose in life is to shine God's light, His love and His light, and joy, bring joy to others, and lift one another up. It's just shining traits of Jesus to others. It's just love. It literally is love, loving others. And so, we sat amongst them, we didn't sit on one side of the table. Like, I sat beside this one sweet little old girl, and I wish so bad I could say her name, because she really touched my heart. But anyway, she's just smiling, and another one on the other side of me, and we were looking in the Bibles together, and they're really getting into it. Like I was trying to find a particular verse, and the one to my left, she was like, well, let's look here, let's look in the back. And I just love their participation in it all. And there was one or two little girls, young women, that were in the dorm area, the bed area, didn't come out in the beginning. I don't know if maybe they were listening to see what we were going to be talking about, or kind of like who we are, you know, and maybe they felt comfortable enough. Within about 5 minutes, they came out and sat out there with us. And so we had every single girl that was allowed to come out. There's actually a few that were in lockdown, but maybe they'll be out next time and they can come listen. But yeah, everyone was good. We talked about that they too have a purpose, because you know you're in there, and like I had told y'all before, it's from like possibly just one wrong decision, you know, and we've all made wrong decisions, right? I know I have many, and so easily any of us could be in there easily, you know. There's no guarantee that, oh no, I would never end up in jail. Yeah, we all could. Yes, we could. So some of them shared their lives, you know, lots of them. One of them I really loved in particular, she said she was adopted. Well, then one of the girls that is on the team I'm on is like, me too! And they fist bumped, you know, and so she's seeing that we're the same people, you know. We're all here on this earth. We all want to feel love. We all are supposed to show love. And we're literally trying to survive this world that is ruled by crazy worldly things. And we know who the ruler of this world is, don't we? Right, evil himself. So, it's tough, you know, it's real tough. And we're just trying to teach maybe some life skills. And I've learned the hard way many times that I can't rely on my own strength or someone else's strength. And I need to depend on God every day, every single minute. And that's taken me some years to learn, but it's true. And I've learned it, and I'm so thankful that I've learned it. And so we're just trying to share that, you know, share that knowledge, because it gives you strength and peace and joy, and you're able to move forward, and you're able to do what you were put on this earth to do, is to shine God's love and light and find your purpose, your little niche, your little ministry, what you like to do, and how you can spread that with others. And so Cynthia just had one Bible verse after the other saying that, you know, and we would all look it up. The girls all have a Bible except for just a couple, and we have been buying Bibles at our church, and I'm sure other churches, and I've got a few on my mind. I'm going to make sure to get them a Bible. Yes, I am. We're getting pink Bibles, and they're loving those pink Bibles. So I'm going to find a few pink Bibles next time to take in there myself. But they're all turning. They all know they can get right to it, and they'll start reading that verse when they get to it. And like I say, they participated so well. And it makes me want to cry, because I used to go, and I've been before when no one did that. And so I felt your prayers for them to have open hearts to all of this, because they were all so attentive and just participated so well. And I thank y'all so much for that, for your prayers. And I just want to shout for joy that I'm getting to go back there and see those girls. And we've had so many sign up and so many volunteer to go back in, that I think we're not going to go back in for about another 4 to 5 weeks. And Jan, bless her heart, she's like, we got to wait 5 weeks before we can go back in. I just got tickled, because back in the day when I would go with Miss Sue, I think we went once a week. And then there were weeks that others could not go, and we would go twice a week. So it was hardly anyone volunteering, and it was a great need, you know. So this time it's wonderful that we have so many that want to go back in there. And it's just a wonderful time. And I know y'all have been wondering how that went, and it went awesome. I got there at 5:30. You all have to be there on time or early because they open the door one time for you to come in. And if you don't make it in, well, too bad. You know, they're not going to be, oh, well, she's late, letting in and out, in and out. No. So I got there at 5:30. I said, I do not want to be late. They said 5:45. I said, I'll be there at 5:30. So I was. And then I think we left close to 9 o'clock because then we go out in the parking lot and we just talk. We talk and talk and talk and talk. We come up with more plans. The men's ministry was walking out at the same time with us, so we actually were like, hey, you know, we knew them all, so we were discussing things with them. One thing we were discussing with them, they said, let's see, it was the pastor of, I want to say, he said, Bernie's First Baptist, and I probably just slaughtered that all because I'm not good at remembering that. But anyway, I believe that he's actually leaving soon. But he said they had actually come up with some booklets to give out for after you're saved, not just the Bible, but those first steps, you know, like a little program. And we said that was great. So we're going to check into that and see what we can hand out after that to give them some little homework, you know, something to do while you're just sitting there in there. I don't really know their schedule. I talked to a few of the girls afterwards. I was like, hey, how long do you get to have the TV on? And, you know, just ask them a few things about their day-to-day life in there. But they were kind of seeing us out because it was getting close to 9 o'clock. So, but anyway, it was very good, and all the girls were so receptive, and I'm so thankful to y'all for all your prayers, and please continue to pray and keep us in your thoughts. I have gotten uptown, guys, and I'm not looking at y'all, I'm looking at the road. John and I've been editing videos. I've been doing paperwork this morning. It's the weekend, but we were both kind of doing a little work because tomorrow's Sunday, and honestly, we love Sunday because it's our day of rest as well. We get to go sit and listen to a good message in the air conditioning. It's wonderful. You know what? I learned this just recently, and I want to share that with y'all because it is so like, wow. We're sitting in church, you know, we're on the cushioned pews, and we learned recently that back in the day, way back, only the very wealthy got to sit in pews. Like, I think they actually paid some money to sit in the pews. And then the poor folk, or the rest, or the common folk, they stood around. And I said, well, back in the day, I'd been standing every Sunday, but that's okay, you know, whatever. But, yes, I just thought that was a neat piece of trivia, or like a wow piece of trivia. So we're actually sitting in privileged seats, and I'm thankful that we're in a country that can go to church, because it challenges me. We can worship the Lord anywhere we are, it doesn't matter, but going to church challenges me. It's something about listening to a message, and Brother Robbie does it pretty good. He'll challenge me, or it's God challenging me through him, and it makes me say, hey, I want to do this. Hey, I could do that, you know, that's something else I could do. And I'm always making notes during church. I'm one of those that's writing a lot, you know. One of them, he mentioned a sweet lady. I knew her, Miss Gully, and she used to make the communion bread homemade at our church. We take communion once a month, and she used to homemake it. And he was talking about that in a sermon, just in a mentioning, you know, and I thought, oh my goodness, that was my little challenge. Oh, I could do that. I could even teach classes at the church, like on the Saturday before the communion on Sunday. Whoever wanted to come, I would show you how to make it, you know. So I thought, oh, I could do that. So I talked to him, and of course, he's always like, absolutely, get after it, you know. And so that's something I want to do, and I want to practice with y'all and see. And I have some special olive oil from the mountains in Greece. There was a monastery up there we went to go see, and the monks actually made the olive oil from their olive trees. And I have some honey from their bees on that mountain that they collected, the honey that the bees made. And I thought those would be two wonderful things to put into this communion bread. unleavened, it's more like little crackers, I guess you'd say. So anyway, I thought those would be two wonderful things to do, and I would do it the first time, and then maybe the next time when I get where I'm real good and a no think thing, I'll, whoever wants to, come up there and I'll start doing it in the kitchen at church on Saturday afternoon or even Saturday morning or whatever at the church. So I just thought that would be something. So see, like, I get challenged when I go to church, to do things like that. I get challenged to, I need to talk about that in one of my videos, a certain subject or something. So I like being challenged. I like being challenged in every point of my life. I really do. And so I really like going to church so I can be challenged. I am here at the grocery store and pick up just a couple of little things, and I'm delivering my daddy his mail, and then I'm going to get some dog food because some lovely yahoo dropped a Walker hunting dog off at our farm, and she's staying in our shop. I cannot get my hands on her yet, but she's getting closer and closer. Bless her little heart, she's afraid, so I feel like someone's been ugly to her. But she's a beautiful little dog, and she looks fairly young. And so I'm feeding her in our shop, and I just fed her the last of the food yesterday, so I got to come do that. And I'm getting some fish. John and I are going to fry fish out back tonight. And I really ought to hop on here and make those real quick and easy hush puppies. I need to make homemade from scratch hush puppies like I used to make. I used to do everything like that, and it seems like my time has gotten so packed out that I'm doing quick and easy, but it's still good. And it's made at home, right? So it's homemade, right? I know. Guys, I love y'all. And I'm going to get in this store so I can get back to the house. I got to go count cows. I got a few things to do before supper. So I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.